If you were to look at my life from the outside, it would appear that I have always had it pretty good. I grew up in a nice house, in a great neighborhood. I had great friends. I was a star athlete in high school, even though I went through some rough patches in my life. Overall, things have gone my way. But the truth is that while others may view my life as enviable, for most of my life, I hated myself. I hated who I was as a person. I hated what I was doing with my life. And quite simply, I hated my body. I was overweight and out of shape. I was unhealthy, and this made me feel self-conscious and insecure. It also made me feel like I was a failure. I wanted to change, but I didn't know how. It all changed one day when I discovered the world of fitness. The problem was that once I learned about exercise and nutrition, I realized that if I actually followed this advice, it meant giving up a lot of the things that I enjoyed in life. It meant saying no to pizza and ice cream and cookies and other desserts. It meant not going to parties where I would drink alcohol. It meant being disciplined and working hard. And I wasn't sure that I was willing to make these sacrifices. After all, if I worked hard at something, there was always the risk that I would fail. And if I failed, then I would be faced with the reality that I was not special, that I could not achieve my goals, and that my life would never change. This fear held me back for years. I was afraid of failing, so I didn't try. But one day, something inside of me snapped, and I decided that enough was enough. I was tired of being overweight. I was tired of being out of shape. And most of all, I was tired of being weak. So I began to work hard. I began to sacrifice. Most importantly, I began to believe in myself. The results were almost immediate. As I began to work out and eat healthy, I started to feel better about myself. I had more energy. I was stronger. And I was finally starting to see my abs for the first time in my life. As I continued to work hard, the results got even better. I was in the best shape of my life. I was the strongest I had ever been. And most importantly, I believed in myself. I knew that no matter what happened in life, I could overcome anything. This newfound belief in myself carried over into other areas of my life. I was more confident. I was more motivated. I was more successful. This is the story that I want to share with you in this book. It is the story of how I went from hating myself to loving myself. It is the story of how I went from being overweight and out of shape to being the strongest man I know. It is the story of how I went from being a quitter to being a champion. It has not been an easy journey, but it has been worth every second. If you are struggling right now, if you feel like you will never amount to anything, if you feel like you are not special, then I want you to know that you are wrong. You are not alone. Most importantly, you can change your life. All you need is a reason to get up in the morning, something that you believe in, something that you are passionate about. And above all, you need to believe in yourself. You can listen to this book for free with a free trial of Audible. Go to the link in the description below to start your free trial today. Thank you for listening. Enjoy this book summary. Please subscribe to this channel. Also, you can get this book at the link in the description below.